All right, UFC 308 is coming up, and we are going to start with the first fight on the main card, Sharaputdin Magomedov versus another guy who's pretty not well known. Armen Petrosyan is his name. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Russian-Armenian mixed martial artist with an interesting record. He's got wins in the UFC, usually by decision. Lost to Kyle Barrio, and then his last fight, he lost via first-round submission. So obviously, if you look at where this is, he fits in that category where he's being fed to the guys who are upcoming stars. So I could tell why Shara picked this fight. I'm going to be brutally honest, though. I want to see earlier finishes from Sharaputdin because I'm looking at his couple fights in the UFC. One finished in the third round, and then the rest were decisions. Now, obviously, he's probably just filling out the standard so he could catch it. But from what I'm seeing from Shara's footage that I'm getting, and I can't reuse any of that, and I don't want to even go there because you know that copyright is a very slippery slope, especially here on the internet, any platform you go to. I like to make this 110% like real authentic content coming from me. I don't like to use other musics or anything like that. I can't really show that. But if you look at his stance, it's more of a Muay Thai-esque kind of thing where there's a lot of leg kicks, obviously. But on a UFC standard, especially when you're going into the top of the echelons of the sport, how does that really hold up? So for Sharaputdin, being brutally honest, and I'm just saying this all in the guy's best interest, it's going to be in his better interest to evolve really soon or maybe get caught. Now, do I think that Armen is going to win? No, I think that he's being fed to Shara, to be honest. Now, I might be wrong, and then we'll really have an upset, and then you can tell the field day is really going to have a reason to come down on Shara because you know how the UFC community or the MMA commentary community can be. But with Sharaputdin, if he doesn't evolve soon, I don't think he's probably going to live up to the same hype guys like Bo Nickel who are breaking in and finishing their guys or the first or second round. Obviously, Bo Nickel called for Shara, and that fight never happened. Now he's going for Paul Craig, just kind of doesn't really want to waste that energy, I guess you could say. He wants to make it to the upper echelons in the sport where Shara's going to have to earn the right to fight Bo Nickel. So it's crazy how that kind of turns around. Now, if Bo Nickel beats Paul Craig, I think it's very safe to say Bo Nickel would have probably grabbed Shara's legs and used that All-American Wrestling to derail a hype train with his hype train. But I feel like there's some squeaks in the hype train right now down the line. I'm not saying right now he's only had 3 fights. We haven't seen too much of him, probably a total of 45 minutes of octagon time, a little bit less, But I think that's the thing is when you see a guy with this much hype behind him, you want to see him start finishing people first round, second round, first round again, to the point where it's like, okay, who are we going to throw up against him in the next ring? Because I would potentially like to see Shara fight someone like Kevin Holland to really make a name for himself in the future. But I feel like this current version, from what I've seen from Shara, if he were to fight Kevin Holland, that would be like a 50-50 fight for me. Now, obviously, I would probably have Shara at like a 60% favorite at this point. I don't want to count Armen off completely because he can only, if Shara doesn't evolve or just stays stagnant or gets cockier anyway, we don't know if one of these quote-unquote tin cans that he's fighting is going to come back and really check him. But I don't really see it being that bad of a case just yet because, like I said, only 3 fights in, we got to see more. But I'm really hoping to see a first-round finish from Shara. If it goes the distance, I'm still going to maintain my relative tune of, okay, he needs to step it up, or the future of his UFC run is going to be very questionable. Just basically being brutally honest, because when these guys get all this hype before they go into the UFC, they really need to add up to it. And Bo Nickel is a perfect example of what happens when a guy is playing his cards right and seasoning himself, but doing it with finish and style to really put a name on himself, where Shara is kind of just outpointing his opponent. I know he's probably fighting very patiently. I don't really know what's going on in his mind. I'm not going to claim to, but it just kind of seems like he's a little more reserved. But a lot of his moves are just starting to seem a little predictable as of now. Maybe we might see something. I hope if Shara ever, by on the off chance, sees this video, I hope he pulls something out that completely turns my mind around where I'm wearing a Shara shirt. But Sharaputdin Magomedov, I think I just want to see how this meat cooks, if I'm being real. And I hope it cooks well. I hope it doesn't spoil in any way. So it's a very iffy career right now until we see some sort of turnaround. But we'll see where this goes. And then depending on how his performance goes, that's what I'm really going to be wanting to know. Is it going to be a first or second round finish? Is he really going to make a statement, set himself on a new standard? Then we could really look at guys like Kevin Holland, or who's that one judo guy that Pyfer fought before he fought Jack Hermanson when Joe Pyfer was really getting put on the map. I think that would be a good step up in competition for him if he makes a dramatic change in his UFC performances. But hey, I'm putting all benefit of the doubt in there. He could just be getting used to the caliber. But like I said, we'll see. But hey, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. And yeah, on to the next.